Hey everybody! So I just wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about since I heard, and most of us heard, about this really tragic accident that claimed the life of at least one young person, if not two. And I'm talking about the accident that yesterday claimed the life of Kylie Punan. And I mean, I know there's a lot of different versions of events going around surrounding the outcome of the driver, Navin Bidesi, her boyfriend. And, it really is just so incredibly sad when a young life or two young lives are lost just so incredibly, senselessly. Like, why you have to be driving so stupid, like why you have to be speeding. And I say this because I'm sure we all saw that photo or the photos of the vehicle after. And honestly, ain't no way that you wasn't doing some serious speed when you wrap around that pole. I mean, I have gotten in a car accident when a guy crashed into my car. Whole next story. So I know what being in an accident is like. And I was in a head-on collision, and my car was written off, but it didn't look anything like that. I mean, that car was split in two, and that's an older car. That's old iron, which we all know, like, they don't make them like they used to. And it's so sad because I mean, it was also circulating that she made a joke, right? She made a joke about man's driving like I have extra lives, and the fact is he obviously drove ridiculous, and he's 19 years old. So you are driving with somebody who has zero experience on the road. Even experienced drivers get into accidents because things happen. Somebody slam a brake, somebody bad driving, the road's bad, a dog run in front of the car, a child run in front of the car, an adult run in front of the car. Like, there's so many things that happens when you're driving. And as drivers, we know that in a split second, especially for anybody that's been in an accident, in literally a split second an accident happens. And we're now seeing like dash cam footage and all of that showing the moments leading up to it, and a lot of the time it's just dotish Trini driving. And I say Trini driving because once, long time ago, when I was studying in the UK, I had gone on a road trip with a friend, and coming back, so people drive, they actually follow like the rules of the road, right, the laws. And coming back, like, there was this car that was driving so dotish, and it ended up, it had like a ganja sticker behind it, and it had like a Trini flag, and I was like, yeah, Trini's again, because we have this culture where we just drive dotish, and it's all fun and games, as somebody said on one of the comments, it's all fun and games until it's not. Like, she out there, and I'm not victim blaming at all, right, but she there joking about this, because I mean, you're also young, and you're stupid, right? For all of us who's been 18, you look back and you were dumb, right? You did some dumb shit. But like, at the end of the day, you don't play when it comes to a car. I saw a video recently with a girl on the highway, and it was in Trinidad, hanging out of this car, like standing, her whole torso was out, and she's like taking a video or something. You have to be drunk or high or something, or the first time in a vehicle to be getting on like that. And it's like, you don't know the dangers if that driver slam or brakes, like, you are falling onto the roadway and somebody crushing you, and I mean, the whole point of this video is actually to talk about like personal responsibility and acceptance of our own responsibility for our safety. And I think that if we're in a vehicle, because okay, I remember when I was a kid growing up, and there were relatives, not calling names, who would just drive mad. Like, now as an adult, I realized how ridiculous it is to see somebody driving at 140 and 160. And as a kid, like, there were some of my relatives who drove so badly, and I remember like literally being a child and afraid of how some relatives drove, especially because my mom is from Cedars, so sometimes we would go to Cedars past that Mosquito Creek stretch, have to be on that winding road, which actually my uncle, before I was born, when my mom was pregnant with me, he died in a car accident in Cedars. And like, it's so easy to get in an accident, and people just be driving just ridiculous. And for me now, my thing is, you are not going to put my life in jeopardy. You are not going to risk my life with your dirtiest driving. Now, we're on the road, people, you could be staying in your lane, literally observing the speed limit, and somebody else, as what happened to me, somebody else come and crash into your car, right? Fine. But at least accept your own personal responsibility. If you are a passenger in a vehicle, tell your boyfriend, your husband, your mother, your father, whoever is driving, you need to slow down. We have to accept responsibility for our own safety. If you're in a vehicle and somebody driving mad, you have to pull them up on it. You have to be like, hey, like, you know, slow down. You there, sometimes husbands driving, mother in the car, the wife in the car, the children in the back, and they're driving crazy. And at the end of the day, when you hit somebody, half the time the drivers live and the passengers die. I don't know what physics that is, but you know, we see too often. There was this thing in Chaguaramas a few weeks ago where a girl and her boyfriend supposedly were in an argument and they got in an accident, and I think they both died. And you know, like, we as passengers in vehicles have to accept our responsibility for our own safety, and we have to say, you need to slow down because you're not risking my life. This culture of letting people drive crazy, like sometimes on the highway, and I my blood runs cold when I see how some people is be speeding down the shoulder, and it's like, what is wrong with these people? And when they crash into people, like the people they crash into dead, like, you know what, honestly, if you want to go and wrap around a pole by yourself and kill yourself, as bad as it sounds, you go right on ahead. But at the end of the day, you are putting all road users at risk when you do that. And your child, your husband, your wife, whoever's in the car with you, like, people need to check themselves at some point. And if this is not a wake-up call to both drivers and passengers, I don't know what is. Because when you see the state of that car, sorry, I played with my clip if somebody was wondering if my hand looking weird. When you see the state of that car, when you see the young lives, when you see this pretty girl with this waste of time fella, sorry to ill speak, I don't know what his status is now, but like, he is the author of this whole thing, and you just there out doing shit with people, girl child life, and possibly, I mean, I saw the reports that she was pregnant as well, so you possibly also killed your unborn child on top of everything. Like, wake up, dread. Like, accept responsibility for your life as a driver, but as a passenger, tell the driver. I mean, I don't know how it works in a taxi. I don't know if you tell the taxi driver, because those taxis, maxis, truck drivers drive ridiculous. Like, they are the worst, and I can't even say no offense to taxi drivers or truck drivers, they drive the worst. Maxi drivers, those people who on the road, who feel like they own the road. Like, you have to start observing the road laws, and you have to start following the rules, and you have to slow the hell down, because you're going to kill somebody, and what you're going to say, sorry doesn't bring back a life. You know, when the guy crashed into my car, he came and he was like, because my car was total, like I couldn't get out of my side, and he was like, oh, you know, sorry, because if I didn't crash into your car, I would have gone off the precipice by Belmont. I don't care, kill yourself, don't come and injure me, because I now have an injury basically for life, you know. And these people just do not care who they affect. So please, people, start accepting responsibility for yourself. Young people, please, I know, you know, when you're young, you're stupid, no offense, you do no dangers, but a car and a vehicle is not something to play with. Stay safe, people, and please slow down.